Delighted to welcome into the studio, Suggs.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well indeed, mate. Yeah. We were just reminiscing. I can't remember the last time I saw it. Must be...
It's 20-odd years ago.
20-odd years ago.
You're not changed a bit.
And you, mate, and you. As we were saying, a few grey hairs, but, you know, au naturel. Yeah, don't time fly.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what you've been doing over those last 20 years.
I've been very fortunate, you know, and I'm not ever going to think I haven't led a privileged existence, you know, especially in this business, as you know. I mean, you're back, we're back, I'm back. You never know what's around the corner. But for a lot of people, that doesn't happen. You know, a lot of my contemporaries didn't make it this far, and for various reasons. So I'm very grateful for the fact that the band is still going. I mean, we were very fortunate that whole live thing really exploded in my lifetime. You know, when we started, there's probably only about 2 or 3 festivals. And there was that great irony as well that you toured to promote your records, and then the record sales sort of went the other way, and now you make records to promote your live work. And so fortunately, that we're a relatively entertaining band, we get a lot of work on the festivals. We were doing a lot all over Europe this summer. So yeah, I can't complain.
Do you find the live work as big as it was, or not as big, or even bigger?
I think for us it's actually got bigger, yeah. I think because of this festival thing, you know, we're playing to audiences. The great thing about a festival is, you know, the people who've come haven't just necessarily come to see you. So you're picking up new people all the time because they think, well, just go and have a look at these funny old dinosaurs, you know, before they pass on. And we found we're getting a whole new generation of people into the band, you know, because of that. And
But also because you're really entertaining. I mean, you know, you're not shy and retiring on stage, are you?
I tell you what, there's 7 extroverts all dressing up and messing about like a lot of school kids. Yeah, and I genuinely enjoy it as much as I did then. I've certainly thought about that. You know, I mean, when you're a kid, it's great, and that's that whole freshness of the excitement of it all being new. But it's pretty much like a blur of arms and legs and hats flying in the air. And now, you know, when I see an audience of all different ages digging what we do, I'm you know, really taking it in because it doesn't last forever, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
You seem to set yourself some really strong challenges over the years, and especially with your latest venture, which is Suggs, A Life in the Realm of Madness, which is basically your one-man show, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I did a relatively successful show a couple of years ago, and you know, that show was kind of about how I got from being a kid, you know, to being this pop star, Suggs. And this new show is about all the ridiculous stuff that happens when you do get there. Because as you well know, you know, fame is a very dangerous substance, you know, and I'm not complaining. It's done me a great deal of favours over the years, but, you know, it can get to your head and it can bring you down if you're not careful. I was very fortunate that the band were friends of mine from school, and I've got a family that I've had for 35 years who make sure they keep popping that balloon if it gets too big. And the show is just about that, really. I sing a few songs with my mate Dino, plays the piano, and I just tell stories about... You know,
like what? I guess that's the dilemma. You've got to be careful. You can't. Are there any that you...
Well, sure there are. I mean, I was just talking about, you know, the whole thing about, you know, puffing yourself up too much. I was with my mate Clive Langer, who was working with David Bowie, God rest his soul, who'd invited us up to his James Bond-esque lair in the mountains in Gstaad. And it was like, wow, yeah, can you imagine a night with David Bowie, the coolest man on the planet? And as Clive carefully drove his Range Rover into David Bowie's garage, as he's beckoning him in, we heard a crunch and our suitcases came flying off the roof. And I was met with the unedifying sight of seeing the coolest man on the planet crawling around chasing my socks around his forecourt. That is the sort of thing that tends to happen to me. Every time I think I'm just on the top table, someone pulls the chair out from under me, I fall flat on my back. So that is the sort of thing, really, yeah. I mean, it's just a bit of fun. I mean, there is some sadness. You know, I talk about some of the serious things that happened in my family. But, you know, hopefully it's a nice mixture of funny stuff, you know, real stuff. And ultimately, as I say, you know, I've had this great fortune of still being friends with my band as much as being professionals. And having a lot of people around me who care for me. So, you know, I've had a great life.
Suggs from Madness, our special guest on the show today, about to embark on a mammoth tour, aren't you?
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, yeah.
It's called A Life in the Realm of Madness, and it starts this Wednesday the 31st in Swindon at the Wyvern Theatre, and then Thursday the 1st in St Albans, Friday the 2nd in Guildford, Friday the 3rd Salisbury, Sunday the 4th in Chatham, Tuesday the 6th Southend, Wednesday the 7th Basingstoke, Thursday the 8th Leicester, Friday the 9th in Coventry, Saturday the 10th in Canterbury, Sunday the 11th at Hastings, Tuesday the 13th in Salford, Wednesday the 14th Buxton, Thursday the 15th in Leeds, Friday the 16th.
Don't, you're scaring me now.
In Yarm, Sunday the 18th in Brighton, Tuesday the 20th. Oh, you get a week off almost. Tuesday the 27th in New Brighton, Wednesday the 28th Dunfermline. That is just February.
Yeah, so it's been great. You know, I mean, I can't complain. If you want to do something, you want to make it successful, you want as many people as possible to come and see it. And it's very nice because, you know, the band pretty much, as I say, play festivals and arenas now. And now I'm going back to the little theatres that we started out in, 100 million years ago, which is very nice. And each one's different. Yeah, so it goes on and on and on. And then we end up on the 22nd of March at the London Palladium, which is a huge thrill for me.
Yeah.
All them nights as a kid watching Sunday Night at the Palladium for your older viewers will remember, with the revolving stage, with
Amazing.
the Can Girls.
I remember that.
All that variety.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely thing because it is a kind of variety show that I'm doing. As I say, it's music, comedy and a bit of sadness. So yeah, it's a marvellous thing.
How daunting is it to go from being a frontman of a band singing to basically doing stand-up?
It's very daunting indeed, yeah. I mean, the first time I did it, I've read about when your mouth gets so dry you can't actually speak. It's never actually happened to me before, but it was so. And unfortunately, I forgot to take any water on stage with me. And, the basic principle of one-man shows is that you talk. And when you've lost that capacity, it's absolutely terrifying. But, it's been great. I mean, yeah, of course, I've always been surrounded by other people who aren't shy themselves. So, the attention can drift off you every now and then. But when you're on stage on your own, for about nearly 2 hours, it is very daunting indeed. But,
did you have lessons? I mean, because I was seeing some reviews and they were saying that, a lot of comedians could actually learn from you because your comic timing is really, really good. Is that just natural? Why?
It must be, yeah. No, certainly I didn't have any lessons. But, I was brought up on that generation of vaudeville, the Tommy Coopers, the Morecambe and Wises, the Peter Cooks, Peter Sellers. So, I don't know, I must have picked something up along the way, yeah. So that's, it was just a fortunate thing that I found that I have. Yeah.
You've got a film about your life as well, which was the previous one-man show, isn't it, based on that? Julian Temple just did this movie, which premiered last week, didn't it?
It did, yeah. So it's been a slight schizophrenia because although I'd finished with the first one-man show, Julian Temple popped up, well, I've known for a long time, great music documentary maker, pretty much... chronologised my entire life, from the Sex Pistols films, The Clash and all that, as you know, great films about Glastonbury and music in general. Said, I'd like to, and I just finished with that show. I'd done about 100 shows of it. He said, look, can you resurrect it just so I can film it? Which meant I had to learn it all again, which is the last thing I wanted while I'm in the process of trying to write a new one. But he made a very nice film of it, yeah, dramatised. I mean, basically it's me on stage, but he dramatised some of the scenes of me as a younger kid. And he put in a bit of animation and a bit of archive. And I think he made a very nice film of it, which I think is out there somewhere in the cinema near you.
So you're becoming a real national treasure now, aren't you?
Well, that's what they say, yeah. That's what
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's funny you were playing It Must Be Love, and that took me back. In fact, I talk about it in the news show about that moment we're on the roof of Buckingham Palace. And if it's a bit abstract to think of yourself as a national treasure, it gets a bit...
What happened on the roof of Buckingham Palace?
It gets even more surreal when you're on the roof of Buckingham Palace. Well, we just played at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, and it turned out there wasn't enough room on the main stage for us. I don't know who it was. I don't think they wanted us there at all. But I said, I've got a letter from the Queen. We can play where we like. And someone had the bright idea, we play on the roof, and then we put some projections on the front of Buckingham Palace that turned it into a block of flats, and it really had the most enormous impact of anything that we've ever done. And I don't know, yeah, I mean, considering our background, it's been a remarkable career so far.
Brilliant. So, madness-wise, when we're going to see you live next?
Well, there's no... actually, no, we're doing a big Christmas tour this year. We sort of do it every other year, a big Christmas tour. I know Christmas seems a long way off. It's only 364 shopping days, I'm telling you now. They're probably playing the Christmas songs in Selfridges already. They normally start in about February now.
You're not doing the stately home shows as well?
We're doing the stately home shows. Gary?
You see, I'm working for you.
Gary?
Yes.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
Glad you're here. Stately home shows, where do they start? We're playing a lot of lovely, nice big house, a great big house in the country.
Friday, 6th of July, Reading, Englefield House, Saturday, 7th of July, Thetford, Euston Park,
Gary.
Friday, 13th of July, Alcester, Ragley Hall, and Saturday the 14th, Olnick Castle.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Big house in the country. Yes.
Good luck with your show. Suggs,
you.
A Life in the Realm of Madness. Are you nervous for Wednesday?
I'm terrified. I'm doing a little warm-up tonight in a little pub around the corner from me, and it's the first time my family and friends are going to come and see it. And I know they're going to go, well, that didn't happen. That certainly didn't happen. You're exaggerating all of that. But no, I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah, thanks.
Brilliant. Thanks
Cheers,
a lot,
Gary.
mate.
Nice to
Cheers.
see you.